اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وعملا وفقها في الدين يا رب العالمين وألحقنا بعبادك الصالحين. يقول الله عز وجل: وكلوا واشربوا ولا تسرفوا إنه لا يحب المسرفين. Here, inshallah, we started on the chapter of eating and foods, the book of eating and foods. So we stopped here. We said that those who don't remember to say Bismillah must say Bismillahi awwaluhu wa akhirahu. Okay? It can be said all three ways, as I said last week. You must mention every single time you're eating, you must make sure to mention Bismillah. Every time you go into your house, you must make sure to mention to say Bismillah. If you don't, then what did I say last week? You're going to give shaitan free entrance to your 5-star food and your 5-star accommodation. Okay? That's what I said last week. And this is the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. We should take it seriously, okay? We have so many problems in the house as it is, okay? We're making it worse for us when we don't say Bismillah when entering the house. Or at least Assalamu alaikum as well. Bismillah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Whether there's someone inside the house, whether there's someone not inside the house, okay? Because humans are inside the house, jinns are inside the house, malaika are inside the house. So even when you're away on holiday and you come back to your house, you still say Assalamu alaikum, even though there's no one inside the house. Okay? You must make sure to remember these things. These small things, great reward, inshallah. And you'll be protected from great evil as well. Let's carry on, inshallah. وعن ابن عمر رضي الله تعالى عنهما أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: لا يأكلن أحدكم بشمال ولا يشربن بها فإن الشيطان يأكل بشماله ويشرب بها. قال: وكان نافع يزيد فيها ولا يعطي بها. رواه مسلم والترمذي بدون الزيادة. رواه مالك وأبو داود. This hadith comes in approximately 4 books: Muslim, Tirmidhi, Abu Dawud, Malik, Imam Malik's Muwatta, and Abu Dawud. 4 books, 4 of the great books. Here Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu, the son of Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, one of the great muftis of the Sahaba, one of the young muftis of the Sahaba, he says that he heard Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam say that no one should eat with their left hand. Many people have a habit to eat with the left hand because they're left-handed. Many people are left-handed. Okay? We, alhamdulillah, we're used to eating with the right hand because of our parents. They trained us so well that they made sure that we eat with the right hand. And alhamdulillah, it's become a habit. A person said last week that, do you get rewarded for a habit? I said, of course you get reward for a habit. Because you habituated yourself according to the sunnah. Whether you remember or you don't remember, you still get rewarded. Is that understood? Subconsciously you're doing it because you're already used to doing that. So for example, if a person is used to doing miswak at the time of wudu, automatically he's going to get rewarded. Automatically. If a person is habituated wearing the turban, the imamah, automatically he's going to get rewarded. Why? Whether it's his habit, even if it's his habit, but because initially he wore it because of the niyyah of sunnah of Rasulullah, sunnah to Rasulullah. So no one must eat with their left hand. وَلَا يَشْرَبْ. You mustn't drink with your left hand as well. This makes it very clear that even when it comes to drinking water, drinking any soft drinks or juices, you must not drink with your left hand. فَإِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ يَأْكُلُ بِشِمَالِهِ وَيَشْرَبُ بِهَا. For verily, shaitan is the one, shaitan is the one, the devil is the one that eats and drinks with his left hand. Left hand is used for najasa, is used to clean impurity, for istinja. When we go to the toilet, we clean ourselves with the left hand, not with the right hand. Okay, right hand, in fact, it's prohibited to touch your private parts with the right hand. It's prohibited. Okay, you're not allowed to touch your right hand on your private parts. وَكَانَ نَافِعٌ يَزِيدُ. Imam Nafi', who was Nafi'? Nafi' was the student of Ibn Umar. He was the great tabi'i. He was the ustad of Imam Malik. Imam Malik was Imam Dar al-Hijrah, Imam of the whole of Medina Munawwara at the time of the Atba'u Tabi'in. وَكَانَ نَافِعٌ. Imam Nafi', he used to add, وَلَا يُعْطِي بِهَا. And he must not give or take anything to anyone with his left hand. He must not give. For example, you go to the cashier. You go to the cashier inside the shop, you give 20 pounds with your left hand. This is against the tradition. This is against the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. You must not give or take with your left hand. And this, as we can see, this is not Nafi''s word. Nafi', he got it from other ahadith. Maybe it's not part of this hadith, that's why it's an addition to this hadith. But many other hadiths that are coming will make it clear to give or take with the left hand is also prohibited. Is also prohibited. One must not do it. It's makruh, at the least, at the minimum it's makruh. But because the hadith says it very clearly, Rasulullah said it very clearly, therefore we will refrain from eating, drinking, giving or taking anything with the left hand. The next hadith we have, وعن أبي هريرة رضي الله تعالى عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال ليأكل أحدكم بيمينه ويشرب بيمينه. Let one, it's like an order, ليأكل double emphasis. It's amr plus the lam of emphasis. ليأكل, one must make sure to eat with his right hand. With his right hand. So, is this talking about eating with knife and fork? With spoons? This is the benefit. This is the benefit of sunnah, those who follow the sunnah. There's enzymes, scientifically, there's enzymes inside your fingers. It only releases when the food touches your hand. So when it goes inside, nowadays, when our food is not digesting, what do we eat? We eat digestive enzymes. What is it called? Digestive enzymes. Because food is not digesting, well, we're becoming fat and fat and fat. So in order for the food to become blended inside your stomach, what do you eat? Eat digestive enzymes. This is called digestive enzymes. Those who are constipated too much, they eat laxatives. Laxatives. But this is like a blender. It's like putting extra blades on your stomach in order to blender your food, because your stomach is not doing the job that it's there for. Khair, inshallah. We're not going to go into science. But the point is, at the time of eating, when you're eating, it's best to eat with your fingers, with your hands, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it such that at the time of eating, there's enzymes that are released inside the fingers, from the skin of your fingers, when the food touches the fingers. And this, the bee, one of the miracles of the bee is that when it eats, it digests the food before it puts it inside its mouth. That's because it's got so much enzymes on its saliva, it digests the food before it goes into him. This is what in the Quran as well. In the Quran, it gives it as a mathal, as an example, as a parable. Scientists have found this out now recently. So this is one of the amazing things, that digestive enzymes are extremely important, and therefore these digestive enzymes are right inside our fingertips, but we don't want to use it. We want to use the same spoon that's been used in the same restaurant by hundreds of thousands of people. God knows what type of saliva and what type of HIV and AIDS, all these different diseases that they have, STDs. That's been on no matter how much you clean the spoon, you don't know whose saliva is poisonous. You don't know whose saliva is toxic, but your fingers, you know. Fingers, you 100% know, because you washed your hands thoroughly before you went and ate the rice or the curry or the whatever you're eating, the fish. So you must make sure you eat according to the sunnah, which is eating with the fingers, eating with the hands. And you must make sure you clean the hands before eating as well. That's another important sunnah that's coming, inshallah. So let one of you eat with his right hand and drink with his right hand. وَلْيَأْخُذْ بِيَمِينِهِ. Let him take things with his right hand. Whenever your dad gives you something, whenever your brother gives you something, whenever your customers give you something, take with the right hand. وَلْيُعْطِي بِيَمِينِهِ. And he must give also with his right hand. Whenever he's giving something, you're giving money, you're giving toys, you're giving anything to anyone, you must give with your right hand. فَإِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ يَأْكُلُ بِشِمَالِهِ. For indeed, shaitan eats with his left. Yes, shaitan eats with his left. He drinks with his left. وَيَشْرَبُ بِشِمَالِهِ وَيُعْطِي بِشِمَالِهِ. He also gives and takes with his left hand. So we don't want to imitate shaitan in any way. Therefore, we use our right hand in all good actions, in all good things. Left hand again, we use for najasa, cleaning najasa and istinja. Rawahu ibn Majah bi isnadin sahih. This hadith is narrated in Ibn Majah with the chain of narration being authentic. وعن أبي سعيد الخدري رضي الله تعالى عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم نهى عن النفخ في الشراب فقال رجل القذاة أراها في الإناء فقال أهرقها قال لا أروى من نفس واحد فقال فأبن القدح إذن عن فيك رواه الترمذي. here, on the authority of Abu Sa'id al-Khudri radiyallahu anhu, another great companion, another great mufti of the Sahaba, he narrates that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam prohibited from blowing into the water, blowing into any type of liquids that you're drinking, to blow into, for example, tea. Tea, coffee, we drink all the time. Because it's hot, we start blowing into the tea or the coffee. This is prohibited. This is why? Because your germs and bacteria are going into, the bad germs and bacteria that are coming out from your spittle, that are coming out from your mouth, are going into the tea, and that is harmful. Now, how we understand it's harmful, because I'm explaining to you scientifically. But for 1400 years, the moment Rasulullah said it, khalas, this was sunnah. We do it. Whether we understand it, whether we don't understand it, we do it because we love Rasulullah. That's why they had the true love of Rasulullah. Whenever they heard something, they immediately followed. So now we need scientific explanation behind the hadith in order to practice, okay, maybe what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said is true or false. Do you understand? This is the level that we have come down to. Astaghfirullah. Allah protect us. Whenever you hear the hadith of Rasulullah and it's authentic and it's to do with the sunnah, you must rush to follow that sunnah. You must rush to follow that sunnah. Sunnah is our life. Without the love of sunnah, without the Rasulullah was uswatul hasan. He was the best of the best. He's the perfect being that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created. For example, I've seen someone within my area. He asked me once that is it sunnah to lick the fingers? I said, yes, of course it's sunnah to lick the fingers. After you finish your meal, after you finish eating, it's sunnah to lick the fingers clean, so there's no food left on your fingers. Likewise, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to lick even the pot, even the what we call handi, even the handi, he used to lick with his finger, this finger, index finger. He used to lick and he used to eat from the bottom of the pot. So this was also another sunnah. So here, فَقَالَ رَجُلٌ الْقَذَاتُ أَرَاهَا. What if I see some dirt on the liquid that I'm drinking, or on the food? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, that dirt that's on the drink, throw it away and then drink it. Throw it away and then drink it. Get some new water or something and then drink it. Then another Sahabi probably said, most likely, قَالَ لَا أَرْوَى مِن نَفَسٍ وَاحِدٍ. When I drink in one gulp, so for example, when you come from the gym and you're exhausted, you're sweating from head to toe, yeah? What happens? You start drinking water like this. You start drinking the water in one gulp as if you want to drink all that 1 liter in one go. This is completely against the sunnah, and this is damaging to us. Physically, this is damaging to all our organs inside. Okay? Too much water at once, your acidity levels inside your stomach gets affected. Your pH level gets affected. Okay? And this causes more problems inside your pancreas and your liver. So, here Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, قَالَ فَأَبِنِ الْقَدَحَ إِذَنْ عَنْ فِيكَ. So, take the cup or the vessel that you're using, take it away from your mouth when you're drinking water. Meaning, when you're breathing out, make sure you're not breathing into the cup. Make sure you're not breathing into whether it's a tea, whether it's a coffee, whether it's a juice, whether it's a slush, anything. It can be anything, okay? This is just an example that I'm giving. Whether it's water, do not breathe into the water, do not breathe into the tea, okay? Make sure you take it away, breathe out, and then when you're breathed out already, then you drink in. And this hadith is in Tirmidhi. وعنه رضي الله تعالى عنه قال نهى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم عن الشرب من ثلمة القدح وأن ينفخ في الشراب. رواه أبو داود وابن حبان في صحيحه. Imam Abu Dawud and Imam Ibn Hibban, they narrate this hadith on the authority of Abu Sa'id al-Khudri again. Okay, another same Sahabi, great Mufti, that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam prohibited from drinking from the part of the cup or the glass which is broken. This doesn't mean the whole item has to be broken. Part of it is broken. So, what the ulama say is there's most likely impurities inside the broken part which can get into your mouth and cause infection. Also, what can be the case is you might get some of the glass or some of the ceramic material go into your mouth and you might injure yourself. Okay? Also, you don't know if another person's gonna drink from there again. If another person drinks from that part again, he might get germs which he doesn't want. Okay? And he will not want to. Initially, if he sees you drinking from that part, then you're going to get infected in some way or another. وَأَن يُنْفَخَ فِي الشَّرَابِ, and to blow into his drink. We said this. عن ابن عباس رضي الله تعالى عنهما أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم نهى أن يتنفس في الإناء أو ينفخ فيه. Saying very similar hadith, that here on the authority of Ibn Abbas رضي الله تعالى عنه, that Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم prohibited from breathing into the vessel, breathing into the cup or the glass, or blowing into it, even blowing into it. So breathing in or blowing in, both are prohibited. Rawahu Abu Dawud wa Tirmidhi. Imam Abu Dawud and Imam Tirmidhi narrated this hadith, as well as Ibn Hibban, and Imam Tirmidhi said this hadith is Hasan Sahih. So Hasan sound and Sahih is authentic. وعن أنس بن مالك رضي الله تعالى عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كان يتنفس في الإناء ثلاثا ويقول هو أمرأ وأروى. رواه الترمذي وقال حديث حسن. Imam Tirmidhi said this hadith is Hasan as well, on the authority of Anas bin Malik. Anas bin Malik was one of the Sahabas, one of the companions of the Prophet that lived the longest, that had the highest lifespan, the longest lifespan. Okay? So Anas radiallahu ta'ala reports here that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he prohibited, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he used to breathe 3 times. So whenever he used to drink water, he used to breathe 3 times. He used to normally drink 3 times. This was the sunnah of Rasulullah. Whenever you're drinking water, try to drink in 3 small sips, 3 sips. Okay, this is the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he used to say, "Huwa amra'u wa arwa." This is more pleasant and this is more quenching to my thirst. Why? Because drinking at once like a camel, what did I say? It is harmful for your stomach, harmful for your organs, harmful for everything. Okay, this is not right. You must drink in small sips. Make it a habit to drink in small sips. And inshallah, even if it becomes a habit, like I said, even if it becomes a habit, you're still going to get rewarded because you're following the sunnah. You are following the sunnah. And it will be harder to gain weight if you drink. Unfortunately, we're not used to the sunnah. We go against the sunnah intentionally. This is why we gain weight as well. This is another issue. It's true. I'm talking about myself as well. Okay? Not just to everyone. Myself as well. Because we don't follow the sunnah, this is why we fall into bigger problems. Okay? So you must make sure to sip the water in small sips rather than gulping the water down in one go. وعن أبي سعيد الخدري رضي الله تعالى عنه قال نهى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم عن اختناث الأسقية، يعني أن تكسر أفواها فيشرب منها. رواه البخاري ومسلم. Imam Bukhari and Muslim, they narrate on the authority of Abu Sa'id al-Khudri radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam forbade to cut off. So back in the days, they used to have like leather bags. They used to use for cooling inside the desert. So in the desert, if you put your water inside the leather bag, then normally the water stays cool inside there. So what they used to do, whenever they were extremely thirsty, they would cut off the top of the leather bag. Now if you cut off the top, what happens? You open the top part, and now whenever someone's drinking, they're drinking from the same place. Normally what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to take the water and put it in like a cup and then drink it. Not drink directly. So for example, like a 2-liter bottle, nowadays in our example, 2-liter bottle. 2-liter bottle, if you start, as long as it's yours, if it's yours in your workplace and you're working there for 12-hour shifts, then it's fine, there's not a problem. You know, that's yours. That's yours and you're going to drink it and there's no one else there. But ideally, it should be poured into a cup and then drunk, okay? Here, if there's a big, for example, a Coke, a 2-liter Coke, you know that's not yours, it's inside the house. Everyone's going to drink from it. You start drinking directly from the mouth of the 2-liter. This is against the sunnah. This is going to be against the sunnah because another person might be your brother or your sister, but they wouldn't want to put the mouth there to drink it from there, from that same place. Why? Because you already put your mouth there, isn't it? So this is why this is also prohibited. فَيُشْرَبَ فِيهَا. رواه البخاري ومسلم. وعن عيسى بن عبد الله بن أنيس عن أبيه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم دعا بإداوة يوم أحد فقال أخنث فم الإداوة ثم اشرب من فيها. رواه أبو داود wal Bayhaqi, and many others. So Imam Abu Dawud and Bayhaqi, they narrate on the authority of Isa ibn Abdullah ibn Unais from his father that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he called for a vessel, he called for a container containing water on the day of Uhud, on the day when they were fighting in the battle of Uhud. فقال أخنث فم الإداوة, cut off the mouth of the portion which the water is in. ثم اشرب من فيها, then eat what is. So here it shows the opposite to the hadiths that he narrated. Okay, it shows the opposite, meaning Rasulullah done it on the day of Uhud, that they were allowed to eat from the direct part of the mouth of the container, like a 2-liter bottle, let's say. From the 2-liter bottle, Rasulullah drank from it directly. Now, is this the sunnah? This is not the sunnah. The hadith that is narrated previously is the sunnah, general sunnah. This he done out of need because he was in a battle. Another thing is, this you cannot apply in our time. Why? Because this was the saliva of Rasulullah that everyone else shared in. This was the saliva of Rasulullah, and the saliva of Rasulullah is the blessed saliva, the Mubarak saliva, okay, which is agreed upon by all the ulama, ijma'ul ulama. Whereas our saliva, astaghfirullah, we don't know what's inside our saliva. You might even get COVID after using our saliva, okay? So you must be careful to make qiyas of these ahadithis with the saliva of Rasulullah. This is not the same, okay? Peer and sheikh and all these things, not in this time and age, okay? If you find a pious person, like for example, still tahniq is there. Tahniq, what is tahniq? When a new child is born, you take it to a pious person, somebody who you know is pious. Nowadays, you'll take them to, for example, an imam who you know is leading 5 times salah in jama'ah every single day, and his a'mal is very, mashallah, you know, and he's maybe elderly in age as well. So through his barakah, what they do is, they take a small piece of date, they use it with their saliva, and they give it on the top, here, on the top of they rub it on the top of the palate, on the baby's palate. This is the sunnah of Rasulullah, and this continues until the day of judgment. Okay? So, inshallah, subhanakallahumma, we end here. The chapter, this portion finishes here, inshallah. We'll continue next lesson, inshallah. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.